Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are heading camping again. We're heading up to Algonquin Park again, but this time we're going to a campground called Pog Lake. Last time we went to Canas Bay Lake. It was a really nice area. Pog Lake, from what we hear, is just as nice, if not better. So we're gonna try that one out. We're all loaded up. We've got the trailer all ready to go here. But what you'll see is the ATV is loaded as well. But unfortunately, this is not gonna be an ATV trip. We are dropping it off on the dealer on our way north because you'll see in an upcoming video, you may have seen it by now, depending when I release the videos, but this machine died on me yesterday about 10 seconds into our ride. I assume it's the fuel pump. It blew a fuel pump fuse. We replaced the fuse, and then instantly after trying to start it again, it popped the next fuse. So I assume it's a fuel pump issue, but we're gonna drop it off at the dealer on our way north, and hopefully they can diagnose it while we're camping. So we'll catch up with you once we hit the dealer and show you what goes on there, and then we'll head on to the park after that. So we got about a 2.5 hour drive ahead of us, but we'll catch up with you at the dealer, so stay tuned. All right guys, so we're just coming up to the dealer here. We're coming up to St. Onge in Barrie. So this is where I've been coming for years for all my machines for service. So we'll go inside and talk to the service guys and get it dropped off. And hopefully it won't take too long. But turnaround right now, it's busy time, is a couple weeks they're saying, but we'll see once we get in and talk to the guys. We got Coda in the back, and we're gonna head right up to Algonquin right after this. So we'll catch up with you then. All right, so machine's dropped off. Hopefully it won't be too long, maybe a week or so, and we'll get back up here so we can get back to riding, because that's gonna really put a damper on the next couple weeks while we're off. So we're gonna hit the road now. We got another couple hours on the road before we hit Algonquin, and we'll catch up with you there once we pull in. So we'll see you there. All right, so we made it, guys. We just pulled into our site here. A little bit challenging to get into with the trailer, but once we're in, it's a nice size site here, and very private actually. So we can, see our neighbors across to that side, but around the back side here and over to the other side here, there's nothing. So really nice site here. So we're gonna start getting set up, get everything unloaded, and we'll catch up with you then. So we're just getting settled, guys. We don't have an electric site this time, so we are relying heavily on our power stations. So I've brought, which is going to be overkill, I brought my 3 Bluettis. On the top there, I've got the Elite 100. That's their brand new Elite 100 V2. Down on the right here is the Elite 200 V2, and then my original AC 180P. And then I also, in the trailer, have the 200 amp hour lead time battery in that cabinet. So everything in the trailer, AC and DC, can be powered off that. We're going to sort of minimize power consumption as much as we can. The main power consumer we have is going to be our 12 volt freezer. So we're going to sit that out here, and I'm going to power that probably off of the Elite 200, just because it's the biggest power supply, and it's going to last the longest, obviously. So I'm going to power it off that, and I brought the DC cord, so I'm going to power it off of DC. It's far more efficient than AC, and hopefully it'll last us for the next couple days. If we need to, we've got the other power stations, and then I can ultimately plug it into the trailer if I need to. So we're just finishing up, getting set up here. We've got to inflate the air mattress, so that's over there just ready to go. So we'll get that inflated and just get ourselves organized here, and probably within the next 20 minutes or so, we'll be done and start relaxing. So we'll catch up with you once we start doing that stuff. So in case you guys haven't seen my other videos, if you're not familiar with how my trailer is set up, I have a 200 amp hour battery down in the bottom cabinet here. I'll turn the lights on in a second for you to see that, but that's a 200 amp hour battery from Lithium, lithium iron phosphate. It's an awesome battery. It should give me plenty of run time, but I'm going to try and avoid as much AC power usage as I can, just because of its inefficiency. But on my main control panel here on the bottom, I have my inverter, because right now I need to inflate this air mattress, and it only plugs into AC. It doesn't have a DC cord. So I'll turn on my inverter. So that's going to allow me to now use the AC outlets, and you'll see now it just went off, but the light was on the control panel there. It'll also allow me now to turn on my main lights inside the trailer here, so obviously much brighter. And it tells me on my battery monitor here, with those lights running, I'm drawing 254 watts. So I don't want to keep that going for very long. It's telling me with the 200 amp hour battery, I'll get 30 hours, 25 hours as it stabilizes of usage out of that, but I want to minimize that use. So I'm just going to inflate the mattress, and we'll just put that on level 1. So that self-inflates, and that'll take probably about 5 or 7 minutes or so, and that'll be fully inflated. And then I'm going to kill these lights just to save power. I want to conserve as much as I can for this trip, but I want to see at the end of the 3 days, because it's a Monday now, we're leaving on Wednesday, so 2.5 days. I want to see where my power consumption is, because this is the first time camping like this, where we're not reliant on shore power at the site. So I want to minimize as much I can, and then I can sort of see at the end of the trip where we had the usage and where we didn't. So for now, we'll just let this inflate, and then I'm going to kill all these lights now just to save some power, and that'll be it for now. Well, we're finally all set up, and I set up the solar panel because we had a tiny little bit of sun hitting the site here, and I figured while we can, just to conserve power, might as well set up the panel. As you can see, it's far from ideal, and the sun is almost completely blocked by the trees there, but it's putting in just enough solar on the Elite 200 here. So you can see the DC input, it just went to 18, but it was up to 42 watts, 41 watts right now, and I'm drawing 52 with the Bouge RV fridge freezer here. So it's almost balancing out, especially if we get a little bit more sun hitting those panels. You can see there's quite a bit of shade on them as well, so it's far from ideal, but at least we're getting 30 watts while we're taking 50, so it's almost balancing itself out. So that's going to help with the consumption for sure, and help it last a lot longer. So we're going to see how well that does. Maybe the sun will come out a little stronger over the next little while, but it's coming up on 4:30 in the afternoon, so it's going to start going down, and we're going to lose it pretty quickly. But at least for now, we've got pretty much a net power loss of only about 20 watts right now. So that's going to be helpful as we go on the next couple days, especially tomorrow, because it's supposed to rain a fair bit. So we're not going to have really much sun at all tomorrow. So we'll see how this does for the next little while. Well, guys, we're just getting ready to put dinner on. We've pretty much lost all hope of any sort of solar charging at this point. It's about 6 o'clock now. So we've lost pretty much all sun on the site. So I just want to show you what we're looking at here. So the power bank is still drawing, or the cooler is still drawing 48 watts. We're still at 96%. So we've been here since about 2:30, 3 o'clock. So in the last 3 hours, I've lost 4% battery on this. It's telling me it'll last another 43 hours, but that's with the compressor running on the cooler. So as soon as that cuts off, that'll drop down to nothing. So it should have no problem keeping up. But hopefully tomorrow, if we do get some sun, we'll put the solar panels back out and top that up a bit. But that's good, because at least for an hour or so, we had some solar that was topping up the Elite 200 there while we were drawing from the cooler. So we're just going to put some dinner on now, and we'll catch up with you in a little bit.
We're done. God, tell me in this video.
Good morning, guys. It's the next morning, and we have really lucked out with the weather today. It was supposed to be rain from 8 o'clock this morning all throughout the rest of the day, and the weather's now changed, and it's going to be perfectly sunny, 35 degrees all day long until the evening. We might hit some rain, some thunderstorms this evening, but you know, maybe that'll change as well. So for now, we're going to enjoy the day. The sun's gone down right now, just a little overcast, but it was sunny, and it's supposed to be sunny all day. Last night, as far as camping in the trailer goes, we did use the AC for a little bit, so it was a little bit muggy in here. So we had the fan going. I've got a Shark fan here. I had that running all night just to get some airflow, and then when we first came in, just to cool it down a bit, I ran the air conditioner for about 20 minutes on high, and with the 200 amp hour battery that I have down in that cabinet, we're still at 83% capacity. So you know, running the AC and that worked really well just to get the temperature down in here, and take the mugginess out of the air. Made a huge difference running it for that 20 minutes. So, you know, going forward, just running it on and off when we need it, looks like we'll be able to get a lot of usage out of it. Because like I said, we're at 20 hours we've been here now, and we're only down 83% on the battery. And then similarly, with the fridge freezer here, which has been running off the Bluetti. Then now that's been running off the Elite 200, the V2, and we are right now still at 71%. So what I'm going to do though, because I want to do sort of a capacity test on the Elite 100, is I'm going to transfer the fridge over to this one for the rest of the day and sort of see how long we get out of it. And once we get some sun as well, I'm going to hook up the solar panels to it and just sort of see how long we can run this fridge off of, because right now it's drawing 55 watts, so that's sort of where it sits with the compressor running. So I'm just going to turn on the 100 now, and you can see it's at 100%, and I'm just going to take the we'll disconnect the fridge here, we'll plug that in to the 100. There we go. So it's just come back on, and that's with the fridge freezer. So I do have it set up as a fridge freezer right now as well. So I'm running the one side as a freezer, and the bigger side is the fridge. So there we go. It's up to drawing 40 watts right now. So I'm gonna let this go. So right now, you can see on my watch there, it's 10:30 in the morning. So from 3 o'clock yesterday, it's been going, say, 19 and a half hours, and we lost 29% on the big unit there. So we'll see how this goes, and we'll check in on it throughout the day. But I think especially if we top it up with some solar, now that, well, you can see we've got some sun starting to poke through here. So as we get some sun on the site, we'll see if the solar can keep up with, or we maybe even exceed the draw from the fridge on our site here, and see how the day goes. Well guys, we've got some pretty decent sun on the site right now. It's almost 1:30, so we've been running for about 3 hours now with the cooler on the Elite 100. We're down to, let me get the camera in there, down to 86% in 3 hours. Still drawing 45 watts there, but now that we've got some sun, I've got the solar panel set up, and I'm going to plug that in and see what we can get solar-wise, and see if we can cancel out our draw. So let's see when that recognizes and kicks in. There we go. So just heard it kick in, so it's just ramping up there. 61, 62, up to 70. So right now the sun, if you can see, there's a lot of tree cover here. There's quite a bit of shade on the panel. Either way I put it, left to right, it's going to be in shade. So it's sort of in the best spot I can get it right now. And we're putting in, if you can see on there, 88 watts right now, 89, So we're putting in right now we're putting in double the wattage that we're using. So we're actually going to be charging by about 45 watts right now. So that's perfect. So at least for the next little while we have sun, we won't have to worry about discharging this at all. So we'll check back in on that in a little bit and see where we're at. So just a quick update, guys. I moved the solar panel just slightly into some better sun there. It's still in some shade, as you can see there, but we're up to 129, 130, if you can see on the screen there, 130 watts input, solar input. We're drawing 60 watts right now with the cooler running. So more than double the input from the output. So this should last, you know, a significant amount of time with, as long as we can keep some sun going, we'll get quite a bit more input than we're outputting. So we'll keep you updated on that and how that's working with this Elite 100, and that's the PV200L panel, Bluetti's newest 200 watt solar panel. So I love these solar panels because I have a different brand, and the angle that you can put it at is fixed. The feet that come out here only have one angle, basically a 45-degree angle that you can put it at, whereas these ones here, you have three different actually four. So 4 different snap locations that you can attach this strap to, and it changes the angle. So right now it's on the steepest, I guess the most laid down angle that you can get, but you could actually go up to much more steep angles depending on where the sun is. So I like that with these feet, that you can actually angle a little better to the sun. So again, we're getting 130 watts right now on the 200 watt panel. And like I said, far from ideal conditions. If I stand in front here, you can definitely see that there's shade. Some of the panels are not, you know, they're angled in different ways, but I'm pretty happy with that for where we are right now on this site that's very tree covered. So I'll keep you updated how that goes. Morning, guys. We're just up on our last morning now, having a quick coffee. We've got the coffee maker going there. And I'm just going to show you our power consumption from the Bluetti, from the AC100. I unplugged it from the cooler last night because it was down to 29%, and I didn't know if it would make it through the night, so I transitioned over to the AC200 just to get us through the night. But what I'm going to do now is go back. So I turned this off last night at the 29%. It's lasted 13 hours so far. So I turned it off at about 11:30 last night. So we got 13 hours of running the Bouge RV fridge freezer. So now I'm going to transition it back over to the AC100 and let it finish off our time here today, running off of this one, and we'll see how many more hours we can get out of it. So turn DC on there. Coolers come back on. That should kick in, and there we are, drawing again roughly 40 watts. So we're not going to be here too long this morning. The weather's not great outside. I'll show you here. So a little overcast this morning. We did get rain last night, but not too much. But we're probably going to pack it up mid-morning today and head back. And I'll show you quickly as well with the coffee machine. So we've made coffees both mornings, and you know, got these big lights on and stuff in here as well. And we're still at 68% on the 200 amp hour battery. So we've not even come close to using half the battery from that 200 amp hour lead time battery that I have in there. So power consumption wise, I've been really happy with how little we've used for these basically 2.5 days that we've been here. And we haven't really been trying to conserve or anything like that. We've just been using everything as we would if we were on a power site, aside from the big lights in the trailer, which we don't really need to use. They're just overly bright. So yeah, I've been really happy with that. So once we're ready to pack up, I'll do one final shot of the Elite 100 just to show you how it's made out. And we've also charged phone battery packs off of that as well. So we've been using just portable battery packs to charge our phones by the campfire and stuff. And I've recharged those off of the Elite 100. So it's had a couple of those charged as well. So we'll check in a little bit and show you how it, at the end of the trip, how it's made out. Hey guys, so we made it home and I just wanted to show you one last shot of what the Bluetti is at as far as its capacity. So I left it plugged into the cooler the whole way home. We had about a 2.5 hour drive home now. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's been running like this since almost 8 o'clock this morning. So this has been about 19 hours of use that it's been running that cooler. And it right now is at still 13% left. So 13% battery, would probably get at least another 3-4 hours out of that, I would think. So we're looking well over 20 hours of use powering the cooler out of this tiny unit here. So this would be perfect if you're doing day trips or overnight camping trips, stuff like that, and you had a fridge or something of that wattage roughly that you wanted to power. Just know, and especially with the weather that we had over the last couple days, it's been well over 30 degrees every day, and I had the cooler sitting outside most of that time. It was sitting outside with us all day yesterday. So just know that it will power it, and for something that size, it's really easy to move around, very portable. So definitely for charging phones and devices for day trips or overnight camping trips, something like that would be perfect. So that's going to wrap this one up. I hope you liked the video, guys. If you did, please hit the like button. Leave a comment. Let me know if you do anything differently or if you have any other ideas for us. And we'll see you on the next one. So thanks for watching, guys.